Hello, good evening, friends and neighbors. Welcome. This is your Member Provincial Parliament, Faisal Hassan, joining you every Friday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. to discuss the important issues of the week and also to bring your coffee and tea and any beverages you like. And those who are joining us, Instagram, welcome, LinkedIn, welcome, YouTube, welcome, and also Facebook page, Faisal Hassan NDP, and Twitter, Faisal Hassan NDP. Welcome. Before I begin, I wish to acknowledge at this time the land that we now know as York Southwestern is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuits, and Métis people. Folks, welcome who are joining us on Instagram and also Facebook page, as well as also LinkedIn, YouTube, and also Twitter. Folks, welcome. I know today also our brothers and sisters of the Orthodox Christian religion celebrating Orthodox Christmas. Merry Christmas to you, folks. Thank you. And also next Friday, the 14th, it's going to be also their New Year. And also, we also wish you Happy New Year as well. Welcome, folks. The last 2 weeks, of course, we have celebrated the end of the 2021 and also Christmas as well as the New Year, and hope you had a fantastic time and that you have also spent time with your loved ones as well. It has been another difficult 2021, folks. Continue to be challenging for small businesses, seniors, people living with disabilities, and anyone impacted by the continued pandemic. I'm thankful that we can now put this difficult year behind us and look forward to 2022. However, as I reflect on the year gone by, I'm inspired by our community and the work we have done to get past the obstacles placed on us. We have witnessed healthcare workers continue to serve with honor and integrity. I have visited countless businesses that have launched in the midst of a very difficult economic environment. We have been able to gain access to testing and vaccination resources to keep our community safe and secured, funding for important infrastructure improvements at local schools, St. Bernard and York Memo, and others as well in our community. And 2022 presents some new challenges and amazing opportunities to build on our successes. And I look forward to working on the issues vital to our community's well-being. We all know the importance of tackling the housing crisis. And I have eagerly shared our plan called Homes You Can Afford. And folks, if you haven't read it, please do so. You can check it on ontarionDP.ca. You can just write to me at my constituency office at 41, constituency, you can write fhassan-co at ndp.on, or you can also telephone me at 416 2437984. And welcome, folks who are joining us on Facebook, Frank and Helen and Tariq, and welcome. Frank says, good evening, Brother Faisal. I hope you are well today. Well, thank you. Hope you are doing well as well. And I just touched, folks, Homes You Can Afford plan that we put forward. My leader, Auntie Horvath, has put last year right there. You can read it, our vision and our plan, and where we are in housing crisis, folks. I hope you know where we are, because this crisis has begun in 1993. And 1993, John Chrétien was the federal prime minister. and Paul Martin was his finance minister, and they have said they have nothing to do with housing. They wash their hands, and because of that, they have downloaded housing responsibilities to provincial governments, and governments like Ontario, then headed by Mike Harris and Ernie Eves, and after that, Dalton McGuinty and Kathleen Wynne, and all of them have downloaded those responsibilities to municipalities. And municipalities like our municipality in the city of Toronto has been struggling. I know that the city councillors have very limited resources, and we need to help them. And I think now there is encouraging that the federal Liberals under Justin Trudeau have actually appointed a minister of housing, and we haven't seen their plan yet. And how are they working with us here in Ontario to fix the housing? And we need to looking forward to meeting and speaking his plan, our counterparts here in our community, our federal MP, who is now a minister of housing. But housing crisis is that history, folks, that started and continues to this day. And this government, what do? They simply lift rent control and created also exemptions of new buildings as well. We have seen right here in some buildings that have been termed here in our community affordable housing. We know that they're not affordable, and those are the issues. Really, what do they mean when they say affordable housing? And that's another thing we need to define and to understand clearly. But folks, our plan is clear and it's doable. It gives also Ontarians, every municipalities and every city and every community options to help them housing, and also making sure that we also bring a rent control. We eliminate above guideline increases, which every year has actually created more crisis and so forth in many communities across Ontario. So check it out, our homes you can afford on our website, ontariondp.ca. And if you want a copy, I'll be happy to mail it to you. Just email me. I'll be happy to send you a copy. fhassan-co@ndp.on.ca, or phone me at 416-243-7984. And also, climate change continues to call for urgent action. And our plan, called the Green New Democratic Deal, presents an opportunity to finally take a real action. We will no longer ignore community elders as well. In our plan, aging Ontarians deserve the best. It speaks of the ways we can improve, including removing profit from long-term care. These are just some of the proposals already in place as we look forward to the election this year in June 2nd, folks. But there is more work to do, and you have seen how my leader, Andy Horvath, and the entire official oppositions worked very hard. You have seen the work we have done here in our community, giving a voice. As you are aware, in our community, we have been an afterthought for years. And because of these neglect, we have to scramble and fight for resources. And that's a shame. An NDP government, I will be making sure those resources comes to this community, and we will not be going to be an afterthought anymore. We're going to end it. And June 2nd is put on your calendar, is the election day, folks, in Ontario. We will insist on a deal with the federal government to bring in the affordable childcare that families need. We will continue to push back against unfair auto insurance rates that are unjustified in our community. Just look at the childcare is a shame. We have an opportunity, the Liberals and the Chen Chair in 1993. Remember the Red Book? They have promised childcare then, and that has not been delivered. But now there is an opportunity, as the new the Liberals in Ottawa have now proposed a childcare plan, and I think we need to take advantage of that and deliver results for families in Ontario, and if in our own community here are struggling. People don't have, essential workers don't have a childcare. And when they are asked to work, both parents are essential work, many members of our community, and if the childcare also are shut down, and where are they going to send their kids? And that's another problem. We need to make sure those childcare is signed and it is also affordable. Folks already have been receiving money in places like Alberta. Jason Kenney's Alberta have been giving breaks for childcare for families in Alberta. Why can't we not do it here? And we have been, folks, raising these issues with these the Ford Conservatives in Ontario to get the deal done, and an NDP government will get it done, folks, in come June 2nd. Next year, this year, as a matter of fact. Welcome, folks who are joining me on Instagram. Meet me at the crossroad. Welcome. Hello there. And hello also, folks who are joining me also on Facebook. Frank says, hi, all. The homes you can afford can be read here. Actually, Frank did a very good job of also linking that for you. So you can actually, as you read or watch Facebook, my Facebook page, Faisal Hassan NDP, you can actually watch there. Welcome, Nasra. Welcome, Salman. Welcome, Bob. And welcome, everyone, folks. Those also are joining on YouTube and LinkedIn and also Instagram. I know I can count on your support to bring about change York Southwestern deserves. I hope you and your loved ones are looking forward to this new year with the optimistic and excitement that I am. May the new year, this just new year, bring you peace, prosperity, and good health in this year as well. So, folks, let's hope that the new year is a year we bring real change come June 2nd. Also, folks, there have been many stories about Bill 124. Bill 124 is unfair, and Ontario healthcare workers on front lines are doing their best to care for patients during the Omicron wave and the pandemic period. But our system, our government, is under a dangerous strain. And this is critically understaffed. Ford must recall the legislature so we can rebuild Bill 124, Doug Ford's low-wage law, and begin to fix them, the staffing crisis in our healthcare system. We need to retain, recruit, and return healthcare workers by showing them the respect they deserve, with better wages, paid sick days, and mental health supports. Healthcare workers are exhausted, burned out, and run off feet. They deserve to know that relief is in the way, and NDP government will rebuild it and deliver results for our healthcare, for our education, and every community's investments across our province. Once again, folks, those who are just joining Instagram, welcome, and meet me at the crossroads. Says Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you and to each and every one of you folks. Those who are joining us LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter, and Facebook, Faisal Hassan NDP, and also Instagram. Bob says, hello, everyone, on a chilly day. You hear, folks? Chilly day, but you can come here, folks. Join me. I want to hear your issues. I want also bring your coffee, bring your tea, and let us talk the important issues of the week. And once again, we are in the midst of the another lockdown in Dark Forts, Ontario. I know this is disappointing to you and many people across our community. Our community experiences from the past lockdowns have shown just how harmful they can be. Students and families are being forced to deal with the anxiety and disruption of remote learning once again. In fact, no province has seen more disruption to education than Ontario has. Seniors are being asked to endure further isolation, and families are suffering. Countless individuals struggle over the holidays season and scrambled to gain access to testing resources that were not available. Small businesses are being forced into another devastating situation and are worried that they cannot survive yet another shutdown. We've already seen many businesses in our community mainly owned by women, like Perfectly Plain and Whiff and others, have gone, and others are difficult and challenging time. Yesterday, I was with the B&M, and they have told me, they're struggling. They are not able to continue this. This is unacceptable. The small businesses need support, and they need it now. I have been in contact, most of our BIAs here, the 5 BIAs in New York Southwestern, and their message is clear. They need support now, not another month. They need direct support, and they need it now. So we are saying this government should not destroy our small businesses. Our healthcare also system is on the brink of being overwhelmed and exhausted. Our healthcare heroes are wondering when it will end. The Omicron variant and it is increased transmissibility has certainly upended recovery efforts. But one wonders how much of this suffering could have been avoided. And the fact is, the Dark Fort knew this wave was coming, and once again he delayed action and denied support when it was so desperately needed. He's left families, educators, healthcare workers, and small businesses to struggle as they search for ways to keep their heads above water. The first confirmed instances of Omicron were discovered in Ontario at the end of November. And by mid-December, the Ontario Science Table was issuing their warnings as the government insists no further lockdowns would be necessary. On December 17th, they made clear that measures in place and increased access to vaccines will not be enough to blunt the impact of Omicron. But the government continued to deter. We all know that is the most challenging public health crisis of our time. But we have also learned from previous waves that this government wasn't prepared to take action and has let us down again. Sadly, this is a lesson this government hasn't been able to grasp, and it is the greatest, it is greatest failure. Well, folks, welcome. Those who are joining on Instagram and meet me at the crossroads says, yes, it's hard to find a rapid test. Indeed. And also says, needs to be more accessible and free. Indeed. And that's the mess. And their response was sending to people, to LCBOs, to get their rapid test. And it took only a couple of hours to just finish quickly. So why can they not send directly to the houses, to people's homes and addresses, to these rapid tests? You know, other jurisdictions are doing it. We can do it. Why not? You know, and I think they should do it so that so you will get it at your door. You know, the census forms are sent directly to your address, to your home. We can also do it on rapid tests the same way. You know, even your own voter registration forms or a voter card identifications are also sent through postal, Canada, and also delivered directly to your homes. It can be done also. They can send it directly to each and everyone's address. And there, by simply sending it, they will be able to receive those rapid tests. Welcome the traveling fit books. Hey folks, support our sister. She's doing a fantastic job, and she's also really changing the children's books. Support her by visiting Traveling Fit Books. And there, thank you for joining us on Instagram, and those also who are joining on Facebook page, Faisal Hassan NDP, welcome. LinkedIn, welcome. And also YouTube, welcome. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube, folks, please do so. So you get also other videos at the debates at the legislature, and also when I'm also holding this government accountable as well. Welcome. And also, folks, the Ontario legislature is slated to return to work on February 22nd. And that's a long time. We cannot afford to wait another month and a half to provide support to families, workers, and small businesses who need help right now. That is why I was proud to support my leader, Andy Horvath, the official opposition leader, the NDP leader, as she demanded the Premier recall the legislature this week. We need to be doing more to support people here in York Southwestern, here in our community, and keep our community safe. We need to get rapid testers in the hands of teachers and students and small class sizes and in school vaccine clinics with permission from parents, of course. We need to control the spread by providing paid sick days and family care days while ramping up PCR testing and allowing people to get COVID tests again. We need to provide high quality, free PPE for all frontline workers, including N95s. We need to shore up our healthcare system by repealing Bill 124, which is driving healthcare workers away, and calling in the Canadian Armed Forces, especially medical personnel, to support understaffed hospitals. We need to provide small businesses gifts, support for workers that lose income, and an eviction ban. More families will be able to endure the devastation of Dartford's lockdown. I will continue to voice support for these constructive solutions and insist that the government do more to protect our community. And it is what our community deserves. And as your member of provincial parliament, I will continue to fight day in and day out. As you know, that the last 15 years was bad in our community. Nothing to show for. No services. A lot of services has been shut down. We had 2 hospitals. Both 2 hospitals are gone, basically. And they said we're going to get 1, but it created more waiting list and so on. So we need to make sure that we invest healthcare and also support our frontline workers and so on. For folks who are just joining, Deborah, welcome. And those who are just joining, your member provincial parliament, Faisal Hassan. And we have been doing since the beginning of the pandemic, almost 2 years now. It'll be 2 years, March 13. We start doing this together first on Saturdays. And now, because of your recommendations, we have changed that into Fridays, of course, in the evenings. And we have been doing ever since to really bring your coffee, your tea, and any beverages you like, and let us talk. Coming to your home, on your social media, on your platforms, on LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, my Facebook page, Faisal Hassan NDP, and also my Instagram, Faisal Hassan NDP. Welcome. Well, here I think someone says, what is the best way to get an appointment with you? Well, that's very simple. You could simply write an email or phone. And I can give you both. My email is fhassan-co@ndp.on.ca. And also my phone, you can phone. It is 416-243-7984. So if you want to talk to me, definitely we'll be able to do that. we can arrange it through a Zoom meeting now, so we could just make sure that we are safe. Our work continues, folks. We are helping the community through through the phones, through the emails, and we're happy to continue to do that. And if you have any concerns, to really, if you want to meet with me, you just to say exactly on the subject line you want to meet your member provincial parliament and Faisal Hassan. And also, if you could also talk about the issues you want to talk to me about, also will be great, because sometimes some issues are federal and some issues might be municipal. But it doesn't matter. If you want to meet with me, I'll be happy to sit with you. Just email me fhassan-co@ndp.on.ca, or just phone. And if no one answers, just leave a voicemail, 416-243-7984. Well, thank you very much, folks. Those who are joining also Faisal Hassan, NDP, Facebook page as well. Quickly also, folks, we're still also accepting applications for the second annual Youth Council. That is MPP Faisal Hassan Youth Council for York Southwestern are now open. And if you are between the ages of 16 to 24, you can apply. And it provides our young people an exciting opportunity for young leaders in our community who are already fighting many issues, standing up for social justice, and also for climate and for jobs, and also speaking for their communities, to highlight ways they can actually help their community and make it better. And identify ways we can support young people across this province. If you are a young person between the ages of 16 and 24 and are interested in making an impact in your community, you can apply for our MPP Faisal Hassan's Youth Council. So please apply. Hey, Ivan, welcome. And welcome also Nadia, joining me also Instagram as well. Just give me a minute. So folks, I hope you're doing well. I just want to hear quickly what is important issues to you. I know things have been tough lately, and I've talked about in December 16, our official opposition have responded to the Science Table's call for a circuit breaker on behalf of the official opposition. My leader have spoken about that and provided recommendations on the Science Table. On December 17, also the NDP, also the official opposition, called for help to be ready for workers and small businesses during the Omicron wave. On behalf of the NDP, my leader, Andy Horvath, called for a package of worker and small businesses supports ready to go. On December 17, the NDP folks demanded a plan to keep schools open in January. On behalf of the NDP, again, we have asked free rapid tests for all teachers and education staff to take home over the holidays, free rapid tests for all students and education workers to continue taking after the holidays. And also vaccine blessed for students within school, vaccine clinics with permission from parents, of course, and robust outreach campaign to parents to encourage vaccinations for students between now and January 3rd, including culturally relevant outreach applicable to different communities. And we have also asked reduced class sizes and also school bus loads to begin January 3rd, guaranteed improved ventilations in all schools, free N95s, masks for all teachers and education workers, support for teachers and staff to help address critical learning gaps caused by previous shutdowns. Just I'm giving you what was happening and how plenty of time this government was given proposed ideas to listen to the official opposition, to make things better, to make community safe, and they were not listening, folks. In December 17, again, the NDP flagged that childcare centers were left out when schools gave kids limited access to a rapid test. And again, we have called for urgent expansion of free rapid tests to include childcare families and workers. And December 17, again, 24 hours after Darkford said capacity limits were unnecessary, he implemented some capacity limits. And then also my leader, Andy Horvath, the leader of the official opposition, also called for a worker and small business supports, tens of million more rapid testers released, and a massive hiring placed in healthcare, including repealing of Ford's low wage law, Bill 124, and a better booster planned. And then December 21st, the NDP called for an Omicron action plan. Again, on behalf of the NDP, my leader, Andrea Horvath, called for a large worker and local business supports to protect those that lost income and provide no fewer than 14 paid sick days, release tens of thousands more rapid testers, and make them available in more places, as well as free by mail. Send it by mail. We have provided all these suggestions to them. To also just give you a fresh your mind and also share with you the failure of this current government. We also advise them launch a massive list in healthcare to recruit, retain, and return workers in the field, especially nurses. Repeal Ford's low wage law, Bill 124, as part of the package to finally show nurses some respect, the heroes, frontline workers that this government brags about. We continue to also propose help with more funding and staff for public health units so they can ramp up booster shots. We continue to advise them and suggest and propose stop large crowds from gathering in event, sports, and concert venues, a large vaccine blast for students with robust and culturally incompetent outreach campaign to contact parents to talk about the vaccines. Make vaccination accessible to healthcare and education workers, and prepare schools now to return in January safely with things like smaller class sizes, improved ventilation, and free N95 masks for all teachers and education workers. And folks, on December 22nd, the NDP called again for small businesses' help. We called for an eviction ban for small businesses and direct grants for small businesses. December 22nd, folks, the NDP also called for a major and urgent campaign to recruit, retain, and return nurses to the field. And on behalf of the NDP, my leader, Andrea Horvath, called for repeal of Bill 124, safety zones legislation, so that healthcare workers never have to work a gauntlet of anti-vax hate to get to work. And N95s for all healthcare workers all the time. A major effort to recruit, retain, and return nurses to our hospitals and public health units. Again, also December 22nd, the NDP proposed to Darkford's insulting business support program, which amounts to a minor rebate on 2022 property tax and energy bills on behalf of the NDP. My colleague, the critic for small businesses and finance, Catherine Five, called for direct financial grants to small local businesses, as well as an eviction ban. And also December 23rd, and also my colleague Bell, our housing critic, have also called residential eviction ban and direct financial supports for workers and freeze on rent increases for 2022. And also December 30th, the NDP called for a new restrictions blocking most from COVID testing to be reversed. And then also on behalf of the official opposition, my leader, Andy Horvath, also called for a reversal of Ford's decision to restrict testing, to ramp up, to make testing more available, not cut people off, and also paid sick days being implemented. December 31st, the NDP also called us, supported calls for resources for 33 First Nations served by Sioux Works lockout. The First Nations Health Authority, which voted to initiate their own lockdown. Again, on behalf of the official opposition, the NDP, my colleague Sol Mamakwa, called for immediate access to short-term and long-term support partnership on the ground to support the success of the lockdown efforts of the 33 First Nations in lockdown. December 31st, again, just to refresh your mind, so you know the work the NDP has been doing. The NDP obtains and publicly releases memos which show the government is no longer going to report COVID cases in childcare and schools. Again, my colleague from Paktel High Park and Devonport, Caproche, and Styles also called for the reversal of the decision to stop reporting on childcare and education. Booster shots, PCR tests for childcare, children, staff, and families, and stronger contact tracing in childcare and education. Here we are, folks. January 3rd, my leader holds a press conference to respond to new lockdown measures. On behalf of our opposition leader, my leader called for to get schools open safely, open these schools safely, and rapid test for teachers and students, small class sizes in school vaccine clinics with permission from parents, of course, and also to make sure to control the spread, basic days and family care days, ramping up PCR, COVID testing, and allowing people to get COVID tests again, and high quality free PPE for all frontline workers, and also including N95s, N95s. To show up healthcare, we called for the rebuild Ford's low-wage policy bill 124, which is driving healthcare workers away. Give all healthcare workers a danger pay bonus, a call in the Canadian Armed Forces, especially Canadian Armed Forces medical personnel, to support understaffed hospitals. To support workers and small businesses, we called for a direct small business grant for all impacted small Ontario businesses, support for workers that lost income, and eviction ban for commercial buildings, businesses, and so on. So, folks, there you have it. We have been proposing, we have been engaging with the government, we have been proposing alternatives, and they have not been listening again, and they have let us down. This is where we are, and hopefully this is also next year in June will be an election year. So, folks, we need to make the right decision and elect an NDP government headed by Andrea Horvath, June 2nd. I'll just take quickly the questions and comments from those who are joined. Just give me a minute. I will come first to Facebook pages, but also first I'll take the Instagram questions. Nadine says, are parents going to get a payment for their child or children? And that's a very good question. And I suppose Nadine is talking about childcare. And childcare, this government supposed to be signing an agreement with the federal government. And this federal government, on their red book in 1993, they promised childcare. They have let us down again and again and again and again. But now there is hope that that there is a childcare plan, and many provinces have already signed. I think Nadine that's what she's talking about. Places like Alberta, like J.C. Kenney's Alberta, have been helping parents. Why not in Ontario? And this is also the big question. When is this government going to sign a childcare support or childcare that is a $10 per day? And hopefully that will be delivered, because the folks in Ontario have waited so long, over 30 years. Was Liberal promising, broken again and again, broken promises again and again, and now is an opportunity for us, the NDP official opposition, to hold this government, and if they are not going to deliver it, we will deliver June 2nd. So we will see, and also we want them to be transparent and tell us what is the negotiations and how is the negotiations going, and hopefully then we will be able to answer Nadine's question, when the parents are going to get support for parents in Ontario. I would like to also welcome Jerry Grothy and Hershey and others who are joining us on Instagram. Quickly, I'll take those comments also on the Facebook quickly. And I see here Brandon, welcome. Matthew, welcome. And also Carla, welcome also, and others were joining. Brandon says, now that the province of Ontario is back into step 2, do you think that it is a good idea to keep the small restaurants closed for info dining? Well, Brandon, that's a very good question, and I know that we have been, as I also give you chronological of where we were and how we have been a responsible government in waiting to act and to deliver. We have been constructive. We have been making sure that we come this out strong. We don't want our small businesses being shut down again. As you have seen, many businesses, especially businesses that are women-led here in our community, you know that Perfect Plan was a woman-owned business, is gone. We know WIF was a woman-owned business in our community, is gone, and many, many businesses like that. We don't want other businesses to go to also shut down, and I think it's time now to help them, Brandon. If we are going to come out of this, then the government have a responsibility to support small businesses and support them, not just put them barriers and obstacles, but to make sure that they are supported as what my leader have called for, grants to support them, the small businesses, to make sure that they are coming out strong and helping in our community. And remember, Brandon, small businesses are the heart of who we are. In our community, they are supporting the community. They are part of the community. They contribute significant in charity, in other ways of hiring also people. It's also estimated that 80% of the jobs are created by small businesses. Small businesses are struggling, and now is the time to support them. And we have been on the side of doing the right things, Brandon, by demanding that we support communities and we come stronger because we are all in it together. So supporting small businesses also means that we are supporting our communities here. So I have also, this is also what the small businesses in our community have requested. They need support. They need it now. They cannot wait another a month or so. Yesterday I pop in on P&M, and because, as you know, in Western Road, if that restaurant wasn't really open, there were no businesses in our community. And you know, there are the leaders, P&M, in our community, took the risk of investing and making sure others followed. And today, when I spoke to Peter, he was outraged and angry. And it is true for many small businesses like him, they need the support now. And I know that Premier Ford used to come there one time. I see him there, but small businesses like that need support now. They need support, not big stores and big corporations, and that's unacceptable. So we want them to be supported directly now, Brandon. Now is the time to support them, not another month or so. So thank you for the question, Brandon. And also Nadine says, waiting too long pay too much for daycare. Indeed, absolutely, that is the broken promises of the liberals. And the liberals also under of the Dalton McGuinty and Kathleen Wynne, they had opportunities to do it right for 15 years. And the liberals and the John Kerchev federally have broken so many promises. And they are, to be honestly, they are the problem we are today. They were responsible, much of it, on the backs of working people, as you know, and they have created so much problems for the people of Ontario, especially housing and childcare and jobs. And we'll come to also other issues that they also have let us down. Auto insurance is another, redlining, and also targeting communities because of their postal codes as well. And we are going to fix this, folks. And thank you, Nadine, for your comments. Also here, Frank says quickly, I think, yes, you can also, you're just sharing information, and that's fine. And folks, those who are just joining, your member provincial parliament, Faisal Hassan. I join you every Friday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. to hear the works of the week, and also to take your questions and also your comments, as well as also to be accessible to you and transparent. As I promised when I ran in 2018, that we're going to bring strong local voice. And I have lived in this community over 21 years, and this is my community. And we need to bring the community together to solve the community's problems. And as you know, I have been bringing people together. And that's why we need to make sure this community has a strong representation so that we can continue the work we've started. As you know, that I have already been nominated to run re-election again in June 2nd. So anything you can do to support, you can also visit ysw.ontariondp.ca. There, you can volunteer, you can donate, you can get down to work now, because we need to send a strong message to this government and also the previous folks who had 15 years to fix it. And we haven't had a strong representation here. Look for, folks, every issue we have been an afterthought. And it has been unacceptable that this community is treated like this. And I'm going to change that. An NDP government will be a partner to make sure that we deliver resources here. And I'm so proud to share with you, since I have been elected, I have been strongly supporting the Catholic education in our community. I have supported, as soon as I was elected, as you know, that the Nelson Boyle High School under the Toronto District Education Board was wanted to sell it, to the highest bidder, to developers. So with my intervention and also working with the previous Minister of Education, we got it in the hands of the Catholic Board, and now our kids in the Catholic education are getting education in those institutions. And I know now also we have also the good news of also getting St. Bernard also for a gym and daycare, which will also be something the community has lacked for years. And many our schools also are lacking for repairs and lack of ventilations, and many stories that is unacceptable. A government should be making things easy, not difficult. How come if a board needs one of these schools, they cannot have it? So we're going to fix this. We're going to get the bottom of it, and we don't want our schools being sold to the highest bidder, because if the Catholic school needs it, then they should have it. If the public school needs it, they should have it. And if both of them don't need it, then the community should use it for us for other issues that the community needs. So and that's, I think, the kind of a vision we need to bring about. So those schools are community hubs The community needs it, so we need to make sure that we change this kind of an afterthought thing about our community. And it is also because you have been voting in the past, a liberal, and they have taken your votes for granted. And we are not going to take your votes for granted. We're going to work hard and earn your trust and confidence to make sure to give a voice for this community so that no one takes you for granted and you're not going to be an afterthought. And we need to make sure the next election we send strong message to Queen's Park so that we elect an NDP government in June 2nd. So that we can solve all these issues that I've talked about and I've been talking about the last 3 years and 6 months on behalf of our community. We've got some gains and some results for the community. Of course, also our beloved school, York Memo, is going to be rebuilt. And as you know, that also some folks also wanted in that school to be sold, and make some sort of, or the student will have, half of certain areas, and the top is going to be kind of a condo, and so on and so on. I said, no, we don't want that. The school is about the community. It is our fallen soldiers for their memory. Our beloved school is part of who we are. We want it to be built as it was, and also its original structure and foundation. And also, I'm also happy to report, working with the Minister of Education, that we were able to restore, and we're going to rebuild it again. And I'm so proud that the community putting it also, the pressure, those also farmer students and graduates of the school. And also that is also the work we need to make sure that it's done and continued to serve the best interests of our community. So you can count on me fighting for those important historical institutions that we have in our community to continue generations to come. And so that we will make sure that the community it's supported. And that's why make sure that also you get involved. Getting involved is the key for you to actually understand what's happening. And also that's why I'm joining you every Friday to tell you what I have been doing at the legislature, and also to take some of your questions and also comments as well. Well, those who are just joining, you're joining your member provincial parliament, Faisal Hassan. I join you every Friday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. to bring to you about the important issues and also the week's work, and also share with you also the work at the legislature and also what's happening in the community. Also every week, twice a week, I also sent out an electronic newsletter where I talked about exactly what we have been doing on Thursdays and also on Mondays. So if you want to receive them, you can actually sign them. Okay, you can sign it at on my website, faisalhassan.ca. There you can sign my newsletter, so you'll be able to receive them quickly. And as you receive them, if you have any concerns and suggestions and ideas and thoughts, you can just reply it. So it becomes part of connecting to one another to communicate that way. So I send those updates Mondays and Thursdays, and then you'll be able to also engage that discussions as well. Also, I'll be able to come here on every Friday to also have that conversation with you. And also, if you have wanted to quickly to talk to me also, you can also call. You'll be surprised. I do also answer the phones because I do believe that you deserve a representation that listens to you and also that delivers results for you and fights on your behalf and gets results for the community. Folks, so let me know what your thoughts are, and you can write to me. Yes, you can write to me at fhassan-co at ndp.on.ca, or you can phone me at 416-243-7984, and there you can leave a message also if no one answers it. And you can also email me if you also want our housing plan, our long-term care plan, if you want our seniors plan, our also a new democratic deal, our climate plan for justice, for opportunities and hope, and for jobs. You can also request, and I'll be able to send it. If you want, also you can simply put any search engine and write it those plans. Ontario NDP housing plan, Ontario NDP climate plan, Ontario NDP long-term care and a plan, and there you'll be able to read it. And if you have any suggestions and concerns, you can also send to me, fhassan-co at ndp.on.ca. Quickly, my friend Chandel have just commented and says on Instagram, says, I have a question, my friend. I currently have COVID-19. I'm so sorry to hear that. As we all know, the spread has been huge across the province. What would have the NDP party done differently than what the Conservative Party did? You continue to say, did to maintain the spread of COVID. I think you have just joined right, Vash Shandal, because I have talked about the proposals we have provided to the government at the beginning to the end, and also I talked about chronologically. This is not something just is happening. The government had plenty of time to do it right, and just reacting the last minute is not the solution. And we need to make sure that we continuously to make sure that we provide our proposals. If you just missed it, just because I've only have a couple of minutes, you could check it also Ontario NDP website. It's there already, and I've talked about also those already on the about 57 minutes of this evening about it. So I know you just joined, but definitely we have provided them a clear plan of action, what needs to be done, and they have ignored all those suggestions we have proposed to them. And still we want them to listen and to make sure that the safety of our children, our safe schools is also a key here. And I hope you're doing well, my friend. My thoughts and prayers are with you, and hopefully you will come out of this, okay? And definitely, if you have other questions or other questions for me to answer for you, you can write to me, fhassan-co at ndp.on.ca. Well, thank you. And folks, those who are just joining, you're joining your member provincial parliament, Faisal Hassan, and I join you every Friday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. And also I want to thank those of you who have joined on LinkedIn this evening from 7 p.m. to now, and also those who have also joined on YouTube and also Twitter, those who have joined us as well from 7 to now, and almost to 8 is now. Thank you. And those of you also have joined our Instagram and also YouTube as well, and also Facebook as well. Quickly, my friend Chandal says, thank you, my friend. I will be sure to check out the NDP. Absolutely, you can count on us to listen to your ideas and suggestions, and we have been clear what is needed to be done. We proposed to this government early on, in as soon as the November, I think was November 17, when the first announcement of 16 was November was announced. Immediately we proposed clear suggestions and plans that they have not implemented them. You can just also follow that as well. Well, thank you, folks, and thank you, and also get well too. Also, my friend Chandel, and all the best to you as well. And those of you who have joined, I want to thank you, and hopefully we will meet again next Friday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. I look forward to your suggestions and questions, and I will be joining you again at the same time at 7 p.m., connecting you to your social media platform, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. And also you can join me, Faisal Hassan, NDP. That's my handle. And if you have any questions also, you can reach me at my constituency office at fhassan-co@ndp.on.ca. Also, you can ring us, telephone us here at 416-243-7984. Until then, folks, stay safe, wash your hands, make sure you also practice social distancing, and also help one another. Okay? Thank you, and have a wonderful evening, and also have a fantastic weekend. Also, my friends, Orthodox Christians of the Eastern churches, and also some of the African churches as well. Happy Orthodox Christmas today it is. And also next Friday will be also the New Year's. Happy New Year to you, and Merry Christmas to you. Ciao. Bye.